Hello guys, this is today a free chess lesson for you, so I hope you will enjoy this video. So actually this is a theoretical lecture for you about one specific opening. If you have any questions, you can go in the comment section, I will always answer you. You can add me on Lichess, Gigi Hayotka, you will have an access to this lecture. If you want to have a private chess coach, just go in the comment section. I'll be there to answer you. In every case, let's just start. We will just talk about one specific opening today. The opening is actually with a queen pawn. It's actually a queen pawn game. It will not be a special lecture because I don't know I just don't know how to start this small serial. So let's go with the move d4. So actually there are many possibilities. The main moves are d5, knight f6, actually a6 and c6. In every case, let's say your opponent plays knight f6. This is actually the most common move. Knight f6 or d5, the next move we will just analyze together is actually the move knight f3. And it's actually always a surprise because yeah, we see some grandmasters like Firouzja playing the move c4, e6, this, and queen c2, for example. But this is too complicated. I will just show you one specific system in order to understand the opening because I am just good enough and I'm playing chess since so many years that now I just understand that whatever you're playing in the opening, you just have to develop all your pieces. If you are able to do it, you will just be able to play any games without any theoretical book in your mind. So just play knight f3. And now the idea is very simple. Let's say your opponent plays d5. It's actually the most common move. The move you have to play that I will show you today is actually the move bishop g5, not bishop f4 and some specific opening like a London system. This is actually bullshit. Actually, there are two moves, e3, b3, and bishop there, with the idea of playing bishop b5 or bishop g5, and I will just show you bishop g5. Let's talk. It's actually the Tory attack, and the idea is pretty simple. If your opponent is playing knight e4, because it's actually a normal move in order to attack, the plan is very easy. You just go back on f4. If he's going on f6, then congratulations, you just have a much better position, and it's actually a very rare case in which you can play the move knight c3. The move knight c3 is a bit strange because you're just blocking your queen and the c pawn, but the idea is just to put pressure on the c7 square. For example, if you play this move c6, then just e3, and you're just having a great position, and your next moves are, and now take notes, for example, bishop g4, okay, this, okay. Let's say e6. Now the moves are knight d3 with the idea, bishop d3 with the idea of playing knight e2, and the queen can be on f3 or on d1. In every case, your plan is to play bishop d3, knight e2, and then pushing it c4. And the idea is just that you developed all your pieces. You will have a good position if you want to attack, and at the same time it will be a very nice position if you want to play very strategically. For example, you want to play a c4, b4, b5 types of position in order to have a strange minority attack, or just one specific pawn endgame with the a4 at 5 pawns, for example. Everything is possible, but in every case, let's say your opponent plays e6, for example, you will just play knight this, bishop there, for example, this, and knight e2. For example, castle, knight d2. And you see the position is very normal. You will just play c4, knight e5, knight g3, and everything will be possible. You just develop all your pieces, and by doing so, you're just opening your how can I say it, your game repertoire, because having one type of game is normal. Like, it's normal to play better sometimes some kinds of positions that other kinds of position, but if you are not able to do something else, you will never improve in chess, and that is actually very important to understand. So let's go back. The system is very easy to understand. After bishop g5, you just go on f4, but then the plan is, for example, if he's pushing, I don't know, c6, let's say, you will just play e3. This is actually the same move, and after, for example, he plays e6, just this, castles, and knight d2. Now it's very important, because if you have played knight g3, if you weren't in the position where you had to play knight g3, consider playing the move knight d2 with the idea of pushing c4, and if he's taking, you take back with the knight in order to go on the e5 square. And it's actually a very important square, because let's go back. At this position, that is your side of the board. And that is very important to keep in mind, and that is the side of your opponent. And we say that the chess player has more space if he's having a pawn here, for example. If one of my pawns or one of my pieces is on the underside of this line, for example here somewhere, then we say that I have more space than my opponent. So that is actually very important to keep in mind, that with this kind of opening, the idea is to take control of the space you already have, for example the fourth rank, but then just developing all your pieces. And for example, right now I have a very nice move to show you. Actually this move is very funny. The move right now is bishop e5. The idea is that if you're taking, I just take back, you go there, for example, and queen g3. I'm attacking and defending. You have to defend yourself, and I have to move e4, and or probably just something else, like for example castles. Castles is also good, with the idea of pushing f4, f5, and just attacking all the weak pawns and transferring the knight to d4, because you see, when the knight is here, for example, if the knight is here, I'm just controlling so much squares, like I can't even count them. Like castles, let's say you play some random move, this, okay, knight c5, for example, this, for example. You see, I'm just controlling so much squares, and for example, if I can push f4 and f5 and having a knight on f5 protected by the bishop and the rook, the position will be just completely winning for me. And this is actually the way you have to think in chess. You have to understand where do you want your pieces, but not thinking like, yeah, in this position I want the knight on d1, so you play knight d1. That is just so dumb. There is nothing to say about it. It's just a weird move and a weird kind of play if you're just thinking one move after the other. Like for example, I already saw something. For example, queen c7 here, I can just push f4. And for example, let's say you play rook here, this. You don't have c5 because I have knight b5 and knight d6, for example, and that is just so winning. I can't even see how much string. Oh, queen h4. Yeah, you see, just playing normal moves is not possible. At the moment where you have one good pieces on chessboard, you're just controlling the whole chessboard. So it was actually a first lesson. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any kind of question, just go in the comment section. I will just create a study. I hope everything will stay right there. Exactly. Study for the last upload. And how can I say it? Okay, GGK studies #1. That is actually perfect. It's actually the first study that is visible and analyzable on my profile. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, just consider subscribing, consider liking, sharing, and so on and so on. I will just see you in a future upload. Take care. Bye bye.